Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about the results from Dana White Contender Series Season 9, Week 1. And the reason we're doing this is because eventually these fighters will come up again on a fight card and we'll want to know what we thought about them after the Contender Series. So this is always historical reference and if we can go back to it. Now, for the night, I gave out picks for the night. Picks on Dana White Contender Series go very light. Don't do anything too stupid. I actually went chalk, and you should know the history of Dana White Contender Series. It never goes chalk. So, first fight of the night was Chris Uert. He's probably not ever going to be in the UFC again. This guy, or we'll never see him again. He was absolutely terrible. Couldn't fight a lick. Absolutely sucks. The other guy, Yuri Panvarov, he actually can fight a little bit, but he does not know when to strike, when in a dominant body position. I think his cardio sucks, and Dana White wasn't interested in him. Even though he won as a 205 underdog, it doesn't matter. That guy's not going to be in the UFC. There's just nothing to him. And by the way, he's not Russian. Motherfucker's from like Connecticut or something. Next fight, it's unfortunate, but I actually was really impressed with Radley De Silva here. I think there is a chance he will be in the UFC someday. George Mangos might be in the UFC 3-4 years from now. That's very true. And either one of these fighters could eventually be on like the PFL roster for all you gamblers out there. But I thought they were both very skilled. If you watch the fight, it was advanced jiu-jitsu with very little striking. So they were just rolling around for 15 minutes. And when you're not inflicting damage, you just look like a glorified jiu-jitsu match. It's dumb. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. What I noticed in this fight, though, Radley De Silva is very strong. For his age, for his thing, he's got the right grip strength, and he can wrestle like crazy. They said he was doing capoeira, and he was doing all these crazy kicks and strikes and stuff. I think he's going to be back on Contender Series again. He'll get another opportunity, maybe even this season. You never know if somebody pulls out. And he just looks the part. He looks like a good fighter. I think he does everything fundamentally right. I like him a lot. I actually do. I was thoroughly impressed with him. George Mangos, an undefeated fighter from Australia, no longer undefeated, was the slight favorite here. And we just knew he's a great grappler. He's going to go out there and do this thing. I don't think he was supposed to come out here and not throw any strikes. That's crazy. But if you watch a guy win a fight in 15 minutes and all he did was land 5 total strikes, 5 punches. This guy right here with all the muscles landed 5 punches and won the fight on every single scorecard. That's absurd. That's absurd. You only landed 5 punches. That's how bad you got to be, George Mangos. You didn't do anything. This is absolutely pathetic. This was a glorified sparring match. It looks like two friends who said, let's fight, but wait, no punching. Don't punch. Okay, you don't punch, I won't punch. Then let's just roll. They do that shit in gyms all over the world. You don't do that in the UFC, in the octagon. Wasting my damn time. Next fight, Taha. Taha gets kicked in the belly. Bangor Baysangur Susarov is 9-0, and he looked like a great fighter. When he got off the cage, let me say this first. Taha just has no ceiling. He's not an athlete. He has no ceiling. High floor, no ceiling. And we've seen him twice now in Contender Series. Just a very limited guy. I guess he can tell all his grandkids he was once on Contender Series or twice on Contender Series. But in this particular case, he knew he couldn't fight at distance. Or, he knew he was fighting an elite striker. So he went and he just rushed him and tried to smother him and stay on the cage with him. Eventually, Susarov got the space he wanted and made him pay. He wins this fight with a front kick, kind of right in the obliques. But more importantly, Dana White's letting you know, man, this guy, and even Vegas is letting you know, this guy knocks everybody out in the first round. He is a massive favorite every time he gets in the octagon. That's going to be a problem for us. And we're trying to bet on him. I don't think you should fade him anytime soon. And looking at his skill set and the way he fought, he looks very dangerous. He has the right size you're looking for. He's very young. I think he's going to beat the shit out of a lot of people on the early prelim cards for a while before they give him something too challenging or they move him way up. It's going to be one of those trajectories from Dana White Contender Series, kind of like a Malcolm Wellmaker from last year, or even Joshua Van, where they just start moving you up the ranks because you're beating the shit out of everybody on prelims. I foresee a trajectory like that for Suskov, for sure. Next fight, I like Ty Miller a lot. He fought Jimmy Drago. This was my fight of the night because they came to scrap. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of grappling involved. After the fight, Ty Miller got the contract. Yes, he won 30-27. Ty Miller's jab is nice. His jab is nice. His cross is nice. Some of the things he lacks is he doesn't have one-punch knockout power. He was clocking the hell out of Jimmy Drago. And a lot of people might say Jimmy Drago has a chin. But I think what's more likely is Ty Miller's throwing pillows for fists. And that's because he doesn't have the muscle mass. So you heard Dana White say to him, I want you to go to the Performance Institute, get bigger, stronger, refine your body, get a personal trainer, essentially. That's what the PI is, the Performance Institute. So Ty Miller, we might see him in a little while. It might take a while before he gets on a card, and he's going to come out and scrap. There is some concern about his grappling because he's not a wrestler. But I think he's so big and strong, he can get up. I do. I think he can get up. His accuracy was nice. His ability to strike was nice. He had a chin because he actually got struck a few really good strikes from Jimmy Drago. If Jimmy Drago gets another shot just because he was so tough in there, just know that he's limited as an athlete. He's very small for the division. You can't be a great welterweight like that unless you're extremely athletic and explosive in your speed, and that's not what Jimmy Drago is. But he was tough as nails, and remember, when we say somebody is tough as nails, that means we watch them get the shit beat out of them. But shout out to these guys because they went out there and threw a combined 400 strikes. That's way different from these idiots in the main event who only threw 130 strikes combined and landed less than 60 or whatever it was, 62 strikes. Santana versus Bofea. Neither one of these guys got picked up by the UFC. I don't think they're interested in them at all, and they shouldn't be. You got a guy in Bofea who flew across the world to be here and wasted our time. He would just not strike. He wouldn't fight back. He wouldn't do anything. He would never be first. And then you got a guy in Santana who, for whatever reason, thought it was a counter boxing thing. Like, he just never was going to be first. Only counter striking. Silliest shit I've ever seen. So, terrible fight. One of the worst I've ever seen. Should have been a draw, by the way. 30-26 is indicative of the terrible judges in the UFC. But we're going to see Ty Miller again, and we're going to be Suskanov again. We're going to see both these guys, and they got great stand-up game. Suskanov looks like the complete real deal. So prepare to not make a lot of money on him for a while, just because the odds are going to be absurd. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.